Life's like a craft beer in Seattle. It's sweet at first sip, bitter by the end, and sometimes, someone spits in it when you're not looking. The lesson? Don't trust love to last forever. Or at least make sure it's clean. I'm a 30-year-old software engineer living in this rainy city. 3 years ago, I beat cancer. No slow-motion movie moments, just surgery and radiation. Now I'm obsessed with my health. Headache? I see a doctor. Stomachache? I'm at the clinic. I'm not a hypochondriac. I just don't mess around with my body. Then one day, I felt a burning. Not the too many tacos kind. More like my privates were on fire. I raced to the clinic faster than a Tesla in ludicrous mode. The result? Chlamydia. A disease you don't want unless you're into Reddit drama. The shocker? I've only been with one person, my wife, Emily Harper. She's 29, a marketing whiz, gorgeous like a Barbie doll, but apparently into passing out diseases instead of playing house. Who'd have thought? The woman I carried through tough times gave me a gift that makes me want to shower in bleach. But this story doesn't end there. It's about to explode like a Michael Bay movie. Got a betrayal story like this? Drop it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more drama. Let's see how I torched Emily's world. The chlamydia test result sat on my kitchen counter like a declaration of war. I stared at it, feeling like I'd been kicked out of a Capitol Hill bar for being too sober. A disease? Me? I haven't even flirted with anyone since I met Emily. She's the only one I've been with for 5 years. The math was simple, she gave it to me. At first, I didn't want to believe it. Not because I'm some lovesick fool who thinks his wife's perfect. It's just hard to imagine Emily, who cried when her mom died, stabbing me in the back. Could chlamydia come from a gym towel? A coffee shop straw? I fired up my laptop, typed how to get chlamydia without cheating into Google, hoping for a miracle. No dice. Unless I was attacked by mutant bacteria, Emily was the source. I slammed the laptop shut, feeling like Google had just laughed in my face. Looking back, there were signs I missed. Emily started dodging intimacy for a month, claiming she was exhausted from work or sore from spin class. I thought it was just her low libido. But then I remembered her late nights, coming home with messy hair, blouse slightly untucked, saying she was at team happy hours. Happy hours that lasted until midnight? I'm no genius, but I can add 2 and 2. I decided to confront her that night. She was on the couch, scrolling Instagram, looking like a model in my old hoodie. I dropped the test result on the coffee table. "Read it," I said, my voice steady but sharp. Emily glanced at it, flashed a fake smile. "What's this? A parking ticket?" "It's chlamydia," I said. "I got it from you." "Explain." She laughed, a nervous giggle like a TikTok star caught lying. "Chlamydia? You sure? Maybe the clinic messed up. Or maybe you brought it home." I almost choked. "Me? The guy who's home every night making your favorite teriyaki chicken? I'm not the one sneaking around." She shrugged, cool as a cucumber. "Maybe it's been dormant in one of us. From before we met." I knew that was nonsense. I'd already Googled it. Chlamydia doesn't hibernate like a bear. I wanted to call her out, but I held back. If I exploded, she'd cry, play victim, and I'd get nothing but drama. Instead, I nodded. "Maybe you're right. Could be bad luck." I even hugged her, but my mind was elsewhere. She thought she'd won, but I was about to turn the tables. From then on, I became a detective. Not the cool kind in trench coats, but the kind who watches his wife like she's a bug in my code. Emily got jumpy when I mentioned health. She clutched her phone like it held state secrets. She thought I'd let it go, but I was biding my time, waiting for her to slip. I targeted her phone. Emily slept like a rock. You could throw a raven, she wouldn't stir. I knew her PIN, 0613, our wedding date, a bitter irony. But I didn't rush in. I played the perfect husband for days. I made coffee, texted her about dinner plans, kissed her forehead at night. Each time, I felt like a spy in my own house. Every night, when her phone's light dimmed, I knew I was closer to the truth, a truth uglier than a Seattle alley at 3 a.m. Every night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, pretending to sleep while my brain ran like an overclocked CPU. Emily snored softly beside me, oblivious, probably dreaming of her next marketing campaign. I wasn't going to let anger drive me. Yelling would only make her cry crocodile tears. I needed evidence, the kind that would shut her up for good. Her phone was my target, and I was ready to crack it open. I waited until the 5th night. Emily was out cold, her phone glowing on the nightstand like it was daring me. I punched in the PIN, 0613, our wedding date, A cruel joke. My hands shook, not from fear, but from knowing I was about to dive into a dumpster fire. I started with her texts. Names scrolled by, friends, coworkers, even a pizza delivery guy she thanked for being quick. Then I hit pay dirt, Chad Baxter. No emoji, no nickname, just a name that screamed suspicious. The first message stopped me cold. He bought it. Ha. Sent right after I showed her the test result. It felt like a punch to the gut. I scrolled further. Short, careful texts. Friday, 8 p.m., the Rusty Nail? That's the bar 2 blocks from our place, where I took Emily for our first date. Now she was using it for her dirty little rendezvous. I pictured her and Chad clinking glasses while I was home, burning like a cheap candle. The texts weren't enough, though. I needed something airtight. I checked her social media. Instagram had artsy coffee shots and Puget Sound sunsets. Snapchat was just streaks with her best friend. Twitter had marketing tips and dog memes. She'd cleaned up like a pro. But Emily wasn't perfect. She was a photo addict, snapping everything from her breakfast to her new Nikes. If there was dirt, it was in her pictures. I opened her photo gallery, scrolling through hundreds of selfies and food pics. Nothing. Then I remembered her hidden folder, where she used to stash our spicy pics back when we were dating. I entered the PIN, still 0613, lazy as ever, and opened a nightmare. Dozens of photos. Emily and Chad, in positions that would make a porn director blush. Hotel rooms with tacky neon lights. His beat-up Mustang. Worst of all, our bedroom, on the bed I built, with the blue blanket she picked. It was like a knife to the chest, doused in gasoline, set ablaze. Those photos weren't just proof of cheating. They showed she'd turned our home into a cheap motel. I sat there, phone light burning my eyes. I wanted to puke, to smash everything, to wake her up and scream. But I didn't. I sent every photo, every text, to my phone. No tears, that's not me. Instead, a cold fury settled in, sharp as a scalpel. Emily didn't just betray me. She made me a fool in my own house, and I'd make her regret it. Those photos were like a sugar-coated bullet, sweet because I had proof, bitter because they shredded what was left of my heart. I sat in the dark, phone glow stinging my eyes, but I wasn't done. I needed more, something to prove Emily wasn't just a cheater but a monster who'd drag me into her mess. I left the photo folder, feeling like I'd escaped a bad horror flick, and dug into her email. If she was dumb enough to keep those pictures, maybe she left something else. I scrolled past Nordstrom sales and work emails about marketing campaigns. Then I saw it, your test results, from a downtown Seattle clinic, sent 3 weeks before I got my diagnosis. My heart raced like I'd found a bug that could crash an entire system. I opened it, saw a PDF attachment, and clicked. The words hit me, positive for chlamydia trachomatis. 3 weeks ago. Emily knew she had chlamydia and still slept with me, no warning, no protection. It was like she'd handed me a ticking bomb. Anger surged, not the hot kind that makes you punch walls, but a cold, piercing rage, like standing in Seattle rain without an umbrella. She didn't just cheat. She risked my health, knowing full well what she was doing. I saved the PDF, emailed it to myself, and planned my next move. Emily wouldn't wiggle out of this one. The next morning, I couldn't fake it anymore. Emily was in the kitchen, making coffee, still in my hoodie like a lying angel. I opened my laptop, showed her the PDF. "Explain this," I said, my voice sharp as a knife. Her face went pale, like she'd seen a ghost. "You went through my email?" She stammered, dodging the point. "Don't play dumb," I snapped. "You knew you had chlamydia 3 weeks ago. You slept with me anyway. Were you trying to kill me or just make me miserable?" She collapsed onto a chair, eyes welling up. "I'm sorry. I didn't want you to know. I was scared you'd leave." Her tears were straight out of a soap opera, fake as a $3 bill. "It was a mistake with Chad. Just one drunken night." I laughed, a bitter sound. "One night? In hotels, cars, our bed? And you protected me by giving me a disease? Nice job, Emily." I paced the kitchen. "You left with Chad about fooling me. Drop the act." She sobbed harder, but I wasn't buying it. "I wanted to save our marriage," she choked out. "Marriage?" I barked. "Marriages don't involve infecting your husband. You're done." I slammed the laptop shut, walked away, leaving her crying like a toddler. I had everything I needed to bury her. The next day, I called Mike Thompson, a lawyer my coworker swore was a shark in a suit. Mike listened to my story, grinned like he'd been waiting for a case like this. "Your wife shot herself in the foot, Jake. We'll make her pay." His confidence was infectious, like a good IPA. This wasn't about petty revenge. It was about justice, served ice cold. I organized my evidence like a coder sorting data, texts, photos, that damning email. I backed them up on a hard drive, cloud, and a USB stick, just in case. Mike saw the email and whistled. This is gold. She's toast. He was right, but I wanted more than a divorce. I wanted Emily to feel the weight of her actions. Living with her was torture, but I played my part like a Hollywood pro. I cooked dinner, smiled, asked about her day. Every fake smile felt like swallowing glass, but Mike's advice was clear: keep contact minimal, show no emotion. It worked. Emily tried talking, asking about my work, but I gave one-word answers. Her nervous glances grew desperate. Good. Let her squirm. I moved money from our joint account to my own, careful as if I were debugging a banking app. I checked every bill, contract, and deed. Emily wasn't getting a dime she didn't earn. Mike nodded. You're playing tough. I like it. He suggested a civil lawsuit for negligence, knowingly giving me an STI was a big deal. I agreed instantly. Divorce wasn't enough. I wanted her future in ruins. Some days, I stared at our wedding photo, feeling like I'd been stabbed. But then I'd remember the email, the photos, and my resolve hardened. I wasn't doing this out of spite. I was doing it because Emily turned our life into a lie. She thought she could play me. I'd show her how wrong she was. The courtroom felt like a Super Bowl game I knew I'd win. I walked in, suit crisp, with Mike the Shark Thompson by my side, smirking like he smelled blood. Emily sat across the room, pale as a ghost, her lawyer looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. I almost pitied her. Almost. Mike laid out the evidence like a chef plating a gourmet dish. Texts between Emily and Chad. Photos, described vaguely for the court's sake. And the email, the knockout punch. When the judge saw the date, 3 weeks before my diagnosis, his eyebrows shot up. He glared at Emily like she was a bug in his coffee. Her lawyer tried to spin it. My client was overwhelmed, trying to save her marriage. The judge wasn't having it. So she didn't warn her husband for 3 weeks? He asked. The silence was louder than any defense. The room felt electric, like a storm was about to break. The divorce ruling split our assets evenly. I'm not greedy. But Emily got no spousal support, a gut punch to her wallet. The negligence lawsuit was the real victory. Mike proved she knowingly endangered me, and the email sealed her fate. She was ordered to pay my medical bills, legal fees, and a hefty sum for emotional damages. Emily sat there, eyes red, but I felt no sympathy. She built this mess. After the trial, she tried calling, texting, even emailing a novel-length apology. I deleted everything unread. Mike clapped my shoulder. You played it smart, Jake. She's got nothing left. I nodded, exhausted but relieved, like I just finished a marathon. Justice didn't erase the pain, but it felt like shedding a 100-pound weight. Emily didn't go down quietly, but she had no fight left. Her company fired her after the lawsuit, saying it reflected poorly on their brand. She ranted about suing them, but Mike laughed. She's got no chance. She didn't file anything, just posted vague social media rants about injustice. Friends told me about it. I shrugged. She dug her own grave. Chad Baxter vanished too. Emily told a mutual friend he dumped her when she wasn't fun anymore. Maybe he feared another lawsuit, or maybe he just found a new Tinder match. I didn't care. They deserved each other, two liars swimming in their own garbage. Some nights, I still saw those photos in my head, like a horror movie on repeat. But I didn't let it consume me. I got regular checkups, sipped IPAs, and threw myself into work. I didn't need love, not yet. A good doctor, a cold beer, and a quiet apartment were enough. Healing wasn't easy. Some days, I wanted to punch a wall. Others, I just wanted to sleep. But each step forward made me stronger. I won, not just in court, but in reclaiming my life. Emily tried to destroy me. I came out tougher, like a pine tree standing tall on Mount Rainier. Marriage is like a Vegas slot machine. You think you'll hit the jackpot, but sometimes you lose everything. I learned that the hard way. Emily didn't just break my trust. She handed me a disease like it was a participation trophy. But I fought back, took her to court, and walked away with my head high. The takeaway? Get regular checkups. If your partner's suddenly too tired for intimacy, check their phone too. I'm living my life now, no dating, no drama, just Seattle coffee and clean code. I don't need love until I find someone who doesn't know Chad Baxter and comes with a clean bill of health. Life moves on. And I'm not standing still. Got a betrayal story? Share it in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more drama. Thanks for watching. See you at the next dumpster fire.